There's a big rock in front of me here. Let me get a vertical sighter right by it. I missed it. Vertical sighter right there. And there we go. Right on the downside stream of that rock. So it's a nice, pretty wild rainbow. So I'm in western North Carolina and I'm fishing the Tuckasegee. It's a beautiful tailwater. It's stocked heavily, but there are wild trout in here, and this is a really pretty silvery wild rainbow here. Pretty wild bow right there, nice and silvery. Thank you there, Mr. Bow. He took a size 14 Hare's Ear Blowtorch. So you see there's a bit of a sandy area right here, and there's a rock right off my rod tip. Made the upstream cast, got vertical right by that rock, and he hit it, and I really felt like there'd be one there. It's a perfect ambush point for him. That was pretty awesome. I'm gonna go a little bit lighter here in between the wind bursts. Okay, this is a good looking area here. Nice rock right there. There we go. Just a soft eddy right up there. Just a really nice looking spot. You get the Hare's Ear Blowtorch. Good looking bow. Thank you there, Mr. Bow. Got a severe upstream wind here, and I keep jumping between a 2.8B when it dies down to back to a 3.0 or I'm sorry, a 3.3B. But you can see that nice eddy there, and he was hanging out right there. This is just such good looking water here. There we go. Boy, the last time I was down there, nice jump. Just below me, my bugs were bottoming out, and I had a hit a couple drifts ago, and I was able to get that same exact drift. Nice rainbow. Nice rainbow. Beautiful fish. Got that same drift, and he hit it again. This is a really nice fish. Get him away from that rock. That's a good looking fish. Good looking wild fish. Just a good silvery beautiful rainbow. That's a gorgeous chunk. You hit my France Midge. Good looking wild bow. Look at that silvery beautiful fish. Nice 12-incher. Boy, he was a good fighter. So that last fish I caught was up in there in the eddy, but you can see right here there's a rock right here, and that fish about 3 casts ago, 2 or 3 casts ago, it hit right there. I had my bugs vertical and I still was in the drift right there, and he hit it and I missed it, and then I made a couple casts later. I was able to replicate that same drift and he whaled it right there. That was a nice fish. It's just one of these days where you've got a lot of wind. This is fairly shallow. If there was no wind, I mean, you could definitely have lighter bugs, but I got to have some heavier weight on to combat that wind. So a lot of times I almost feel it bouncing on the bottom, and I'll just lift it up a little bit to keep it off the bottom. This is really good looking water all through here. I'm gonna stand here in this sandy area behind that rock, fish this ahead of me, and then just kind of work up and fish this side and work my way back over. Okay, I'm in position to fish this right in front of me here. Start this over here to my left first. There we go. Oh man, that was a good fish right there. That was a really nice fish. All right, I just stepped in front of this rock and I can access it a little bit further up and fish it all the way back to me. There we go. Just right on the left edge of that run there. Another decent rainbow. These are just really gorgeous fish. This just looks like a beautiful holdover is what it looks like, but man, that could be mistaken for a wild fish, but I do believe it's just a real pretty holdover. Look at that guy. He's a good looking fish. Nice 14-inch chunk right there. So you've got the slack water in front of me. You've got this nice run. He was just on the left edge of that. And just really, I'm in a perfect position right here where I'm fishing left to center to right, and everything's upstream back to me. All these casts are upstream back to me. I have an upstream wind, and it's really, I'm in the perfect position to fish it. I mean, even if there wasn't an upstream wind, it's really the perfect position. Just I can literally fan it all across this area. That might have been another hit right there. So I'm in contact right away the moment it hits. Probably casting 25 feet up. That's either a fish or a rock in front of me. I think it's a rock. Let's get it on that left edge again. I think it's a rock. Oh, that's a fish. Can you believe that? That thing hit 4 times at least 3 times. This feels like a decent fish too. Yeah, it's a nice fish. Real nice fish. Fish. Some nice rainbows I'm getting up in here. I believe he hit my midge. Oh boy, there we go. Yeah, he's on the midge. Cascading back up. He's just another pretty holdover. Good looking fish, right on that size 20 France Midge in black. There you go. That's a nice solid chunk right there. Now that fish, by the way, I'm using 7X, and that fish, you can see he got below me, and I just put the heat back up on him, fought it as if I had 4X on. I didn't take any precautions or anything. I just bent the rod, put a nice bend in it, and just pulled him right back upstream. You can put a lot of heat on 7X, more than you think, especially when you have a nice Euro rod. Really does a great job of protecting this tippet. I did a rig change. Well, not a rig change. I just changed my tippet. I was a little frayed, so I wanted to make sure I had some fresh tippet on. Always pays to do that. You got to check your line every now and then. Make sure that there's no frays, especially when you're using really light tippet. Move up into it a little. There's another fish. Boy, it's the same spot as that last one. Same exact spot. Where you get right in that perfect spot on that seam. Hit the France Midge again. Pretty wild one. Just beautiful, beautiful wild fish. Good looking bow. All right, it's a little too deep here. I wanted to work my way up, but I think it's more shallow. So I'm gonna work my way up into there. I might be able to cast on the other side from up there and work this edge, but that looks really good over in there, and it certainly looks good over there as well. So I'm going to reposition myself. Just working this edge. There we go. So lost him. There's a soft spot right there, and I was working that left edge of this run, and he was right on that edge. Let's work this in front of me. There we go. He's on the Blowtorch. I just put a regular Blowtorch on. Size 14. Good looking fish. Thank you, Mr. Bow. I'm just working this soft area in front of me. I can't really see my sighter because of the glare, so I'm really just trying to stay in contact, and I'm looking at the top part of my leader. I can actually pick that up, and I caught movement in the top part of my leader. That's the beauty about a micro leader. It's very thin, and you can pick up movements all through the leader. I love it for that, and also I like a full colored mono leader just for that reason. I couldn't see my sighter because of the glare, but I can always find my leader somewhere by just looking at my rod tip. Super helpful. There's another one. I was just getting ready to say, so he hit the Blowtorch. Well, let me get him in, I'll tell you what I did there. He's just a stalker. So what I did is I cast, so the glare's really bad here. What I did is I made a cast. I went to the tip of my rod, I found my leader, and I was able to follow it right down to my sighter. If I looked for my sighter right at the water level, I would not be able to see it. So once again, that's the beauty about having a colored leader all the way through. You can pick it up, follow it right down to the water. All right. That's 2 fish, 2 casts. Let's see if I can. I always jinx myself when I say try to make a hat trick, but and I did. All right, let's get over here. See, I can see it a little bit better there. There's another one. Right at the end, almost I'd call it a tail out, because you can see this big rock I'm standing, it's like a rock shelf. Shallows out there is right at the end of that. Brook trout. He's a stalker, but God, he's a good looking stalker, I tell you that much. Let's just run over here. Bring it right on that edge, there we go. Another brookie. Right there, Mr. Stalker. I'm gonna wade up in here and I can fish that edge. I'd probably get a vertical sighter over there. It's a little deeper. So let's position over there. All right, and so right up here at the head, let's try to get a vertical sighter right on this edge. That was a hit right there, first cast. Try it again. There we go. Oh, that was awesome. So cool. He's on my midge. This midge is beat to hell. It has no dubbing on it, and they're still whacking it. So every fish you've seen so far in this video has just been from this area right here. I mean, this is, you can see that riffle right there. I started just below that, maybe 20 yards below that. And I've caught all these fish through here. Just really, this is a larger river and I'm just gridding it off. I'm fishing what's right in front of me and I'm just working it. And I'm just, that area there, I just slowly worked my way across. Then I went back, positioned myself at below that. There's a rock right there, below this that far riffle, and I fished that area there, fished this eddy here, and then I've worked my way over through here, and now I'm up at the head of it, getting a vertical sighter here. You know, a lot of people get intimidated by fishing large rivers, and I say this all the time, you can only fish what's in front of you. You can't fish the other side when you're on this side. So you just gotta look at the river, break it into smaller sections or smaller streams within the larger river, and just grid it off and just kind of methodically work your way across. This is probably This river's probably 60 yards wide right here. And I don't know how many fish I've caught. I've done fairly well, and I've only been fishing about an hour or so. I fished probably I started maybe 40 yards down, fished to the cross, just kind of zigzagged my way up, and I just positioned myself right here at the top. So just, once again, you just grid the river off, you fish it methodically, and once you've fished it, just kind of take a couple steps, reposition yourself, and just start the process over again. You can really pick apart an area. This is just a beautiful little section here, and I just actually changed my midge. I caught a lot of fish on it, and it was chewed up, and I always like to retire a fly that's done a good job. It just doesn't seem right to lose it when it's done so well. So I just put it on my patch and put a new midge on. Pop one out of here. This is a good looking spot here. Here we go. He's on the Blowtorch. Little stock brookie. Good looking stalker though, I tell you that. Good looking stalker. Look at that stock brookie. See, this is so ideal. I'm standing in the middle. I'm fishing this side, and I fished it out really thoroughly, and I just swing around, and now I'm fishing this side right here. Everything is about positioning. If you just take your time and you position yourself in the river before you start making casts, you're just gonna have better success. So here's the bugs I was using from left to right. On the left, that's a size 14 Hare's ear blowtorch. The one in the middle is a traditional blowtorch, and the one on the right is a size 20 France Midge in black. I feel like I caught fish kind of equally on all the flies. The France Midge did really well. So I'm gonna be calling it quits here on the Tuckasegee. I fished this section for about an hour and 15 minutes. I really wanted to show you my approach on a larger river. This section was maybe 60 yards long and, 60 yards wide, maybe 40 yards long that I fished. What you need to do when you're in a larger river, you can only fish what's in front of you. So my suggestion is just kind of break it into small sections, like a stream within a stream. Just grid it off and slowly and methodically work your way through the sections. What I did here is I kind of zigzag across. I'd fish from one side to the other, and I would work it back, moving 2 steps at a time upstream. And then in one area, I'd position myself where I could fish right in front of me, both left, right, and center. And then I just worked my way up to the head here. And I did well. I'm not sure how many I caught, but I was using a size 20 France Midge in black. Caught quite a few on that. That was on my dropper. And on my point fly, I had a size 14 Hare's ear blowtorch and a regular blowtorch, and I did well on both flies. Once again, if you fish a larger river, you just gotta break them down into smaller sections, and if you do that, I'm sure you're gonna find more success out there. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you like what I'm doing, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. And as always, tight lines, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.